Ever feel like the algorithms got you chasing after every new trend? Well, today we're ditching the digital rat race
Yeah,
for a career path that's like as old as time itself,
right.
but still surprisingly relevant. We're talking about halal slaughterers.
Yeah, it's a fascinating blend of tradition and then modern demand.
Right. It's like ancient and cutting edge at the
Exact.
same time.
hmm
So we cracked open RoleCatcher's career guide on this, and let me tell you, it is a real eye-opener. We're
Yeah,
talking about a profession that's central to how a huge portion of the world eats.
absolutely. The term halal itself speaks to like a core concept in Islamic dietary law.
Yeah.
And that impacts everything from the permissible types of animals to how those animals are raised and treated.
Which I learned is a big deal for Muslim consumers.
Yeah,
It's about way more than just the method of slaughter.
exactly. It's about adhering to a comprehensive set of guidelines that ensure the meat is permissible for consumption according to Islamic beliefs.
And those beliefs are translating into a global surge in demand for halal slaughterers.
Yeah.
RoleCatcher highlighted how this translates into real job security and potential for growth.
What's fascinating is that the demand isn't limited to any one country.
Oh, wow.
For instance, RoleCatcher points out that countries like France are seeing a major need for trained halal slaughterers,
Wow.
which creates some unique career opportunities.
Okay, so we've established there's a need, but what does a halal slaughterer actually do?
Mm-hmm.
I have to admit I had this image of someone just, wielding a knife all day.
Right.
Turns out it's way more nuanced than that.
You're thinking of a Hollywood action movie,
Okay.
not a skilled profession rooted in tradition and respect.
Touche. So walk us through a typical day. What does RoleCatcher say?
Well, you aren't thrown into the deep end right away. It's a process that involves a lot of training and apprenticeship.
Okay.
The source emphasizes that even entry-level roles often begin with animal care.
Making sure the animals are treated according to Islamic guidelines, even before slaughter.
Precisely. This blend of physical skill and ethical responsibility is key at every stage of a halal slaughtherer's career.
Speaking of career stages, I was struck by the clear progression outlined in the guide.
Yeah.
You start as a trainee, mainly observing and assisting. Then you level up to junior halal slaughterer, where you're handling the slaughter itself.
Always under strict supervision, of course, ensuring you're adhering to all the Islamic laws and guidelines.
Right, because precision and adherence to those practices are critical.
Hmm.
And eventually, you can even become a senior halal slaughterer, which is more of a leadership and management role.
Right.
It's a whole career ladder.
Yeah.
But like with any job, there are pros and cons.
Right.
Let's be real, working in a meat processing facility isn't going to be for everyone.
RoleCatcher doesn't shy away from the challenges. It can be physically demanding, and there's the emotional aspect to consider. It requires a particular kind of resilience.
It's definitely not just about knowing how to use a knife. It's about aligning with those core ethical and religious values. It takes a certain kind of person,
Yeah.
someone who's drawn to this blend of like tradition, skill, and let's be honest,
Mm-hmm.
a strong stomach.
Right.
So how does someone actually get started? There's no like halal slaughtering 101
Yay!
online course that you can just breeze through.
RoleCatcher is very clear on this. Internships and apprenticeships are key.
Okay.
They emphasize hands-on learning from experienced professionals as the foundation for this career.
It makes sense. You need to be immersed in the environment.
Yeah.
Understand the nuances of the work firsthand.
Exactly. And they even suggest that volunteering at farms or butcher shops can be incredibly beneficial.
Oh, wow.
It gives you a taste of the day-to-day realities and helps you develop a base level of comfort.
So you've put in your apprenticeship hours.
Yeah.
You're mastering the techniques.
Mm-hmm.
What about climbing that career ladder?
Yeah.
What does RoleCatcher recommend for those who want to reach those higher levels?
Continuous learning is essential. It's not enough to just learn the initial skills and call it a day.
Right.
Staying up to date with the latest developments in Islamic dietary laws, animal welfare practices, and new technology, that's how you stand out.
And they highlighted specific certifications that can boost your career prospects, right?
Yes.
I remember seeing something about a halal food handling and processing certification.
Exactly. Our particular certification, for example, demonstrates a comprehensive understanding of halal standards throughout the entire supply chain,
Wow.
which is a huge asset for potential employers.
It's like having that extra stamp of approval saying you're not just skilled, you're also deeply knowledgeable about the intricacies of halal requirements.
Absolutely. These certifications offer a level of reassurance and credibility to both employers and consumers.
All right, so you've put in the work, got the certifications, and now it's time to face the music, the interview.
The RoleCatcher Guide really dives deep into interview prep for aspiring halal slaughterers, and let me tell you, these aren't your typical job interview questions.
Oh, really? Okay, time for the interview hot seat. Hit us with a curveball question they might throw your way.
One that really stood out was, can you describe a difficult situation you faced during a halal slaughtering process and how you handled it?
Wow, that's putting you on the spot. They're not easing you in with that one.
Right.
What would make a good answer there?
It's about showcasing your ability to remain calm and collected under pressure.
Okay.
A strong answer would demonstrate a deep understanding of both the technical procedures and the Islamic guidelines, showing you can make sound judgments in challenging situations.
So it's about having that blend of practical skills and ethical grounding.
hmm
Good. Here's another one.
Another insightful question was, how do you ensure that the animals are treated humanely during the slaughtering process?
That gets right to the heart of the ethical considerations involved in this profession.
Exactly. This question goes beyond simply reciting animal welfare regulations. It's about articulating a deep understanding of animal welfare within the context of Islamic teachings and demonstrating compassion for the animal's well-being throughout the entire process.
It's clear that this goes way beyond just the technical skill of the job.
Absolutely. It speaks to a deep respect for the animal and a commitment to upholding those ethical standards.
Okay, last interview question from RoleCatcher, and this one's a bit broader. How do you stay up to date with industry changes and advancements?
This is where you demonstrate that commitment to lifelong learning. A strong answer would go beyond simply mentioning industry publications or conferences. It would highlight a genuine passion for staying at the forefront of this field, maybe even involvement in research or the development of new halal slaughtering practices.
It's about being an active participant in the evolution of this industry, which I think has been a real takeaway for me from this whole deep dive. We've been so focused on cows and chickens, but the halal market is massive.
That's what makes this skill set so fascinating. It's incredibly specialized, yet surprisingly adaptable.
RoleCatcher even touched on how the demand for these skills goes way beyond just your average cow or chicken. We're talking goats, sheep, even camels in certain parts of the world.
And each animal comes with its own set of requirements for halal slaughter, further highlighting the depth of knowledge this profession demands.
It really feels like we've just scratched the surface here. This deep dive has been a starting point. But if you're listening and you're intrigued even a little bit, don't let it end here.
There's a whole world of information out there waiting to be explored.
So do your own deep dive. Start with the basics of halal food, branch out into animal welfare practices, explore the cultural and religious significance of this profession. Who knows, maybe you'll be the one teaching us about a whole new aspect of this field someday.